Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Thursday or Friday Eve, and we're starting to see a little bit of sun, a brief relief from the rain.
Plus, we are talking about this major shakeup coming to Ford as the company appoints new leaders. And it is no longer a pothole problem. Now we're talking a pothole emergency, as MDOT says that a relief is in sight. We've got all the details about the repair happening right now. Thank you for joining us, though, for Local 4 News at noon. I'm Evrod Cassimy. Emergency pothole repairs are starting this morning across Metro Detroit, with lane closures already in effect across our freeways. Closures on 696 from I-75 to Woodward will last until 7 in the evening. I-75 southbound will have lane closures from Adams to Crooks. That is until 7 o'clock as well. And then southbound US 24 or Telegraph Road, as many of you call it, from Hickory Grove to Long Lake. We'll see crews on the road until 6:30 this evening, so you'll definitely want to plan ahead for that. You'll also want to plan ahead for the weather. That's why meteorologist Brandon Rouge joining me now. Things are not bad. I went outside just a little while ago, no coat.
No? Yeah.
I don't recommend shorts and a t-shirt, but you know.
And you probably should grab a coat. Just enough of a cool breeze out of the northeast to make it feel a little cooler.
You always find a way to throw that in, don't you?
Well, cool breeze is what they called me in high school. Sometimes it works out. Here's a look at the numbers, and it is mild, and we're starting to see some sun battling through these clouds. So our numbers will take off even a little bit more as we look at Ann Arbor's 34, 32 in Howell. Good afternoon, Pontiac. We have 31 up at the airport, Waterford and Pontiac area, 31 Mount Clemens. Still stuck at 28 in Sandusky, but remember these winds out of the northeast, just enough to keep that feels like number down in the 20s. So that's what we're dressing for today. We're not worried about any gusty, blustery winds, but wind chill, well, it's 18 in Sandusky. Middle and upper 20s across the I-94 corridor from Metro Airport out to Ann Arbor, and 22 along M59 from Mount Clemens to Pontiac to Howell. Wind chills are a little bit cooler. So we have clouds and cool conditions, 36 now, getting into some sun as we hit the the 2 o'clock hour. It's lunchtime now. 38 degrees at 2 o'clock and 40-ish for a high temperature later today. As we look at the clouds and radar, it's been a near miss or a close call all day, with a little snow hugging the Ohio line down near Toledo. You might run into that heading south. But we've got a little freezing rain trying to work its way here as we look into tomorrow, and we'll take a look closer coming up.
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Meanwhile, we do want to get back to more relief that is on the way from MDOT, which is a big sigh of relief for many of us, says dangers come from above and below, from flying debris to massive potholes. Local 4's Nick Monticelli joins us now this afternoon with the latest on the road repairs.
Good afternoon. Take a look at this video that is right into our Local 4 newsroom. MDOT crews already out patching. We said they'd be out at 7 a.m. That is happening, and it's happening all along 696 and 75 because of how dangerous those roads have become. But the bottom line is those are emergency repairs. 696 is slated to begin construction, and there's a meeting about that later today.
When we say crumbling infrastructure, it truly is crumbling.
MDOT isn't mincing any words here. 696 is bad. They know it. We know it. Everyone knows it. Phil Ciccione drives the length of 696 every single day.
So it's horrible.
He says watching for flying concrete and potholes is just like distracted driving.
You're always now trying to look down at the road so you can try to avoid the potholes, besides trying to look at the cars that are sitting in front of you.
So it's distracting.
It's extremely distracting. It's going to cause accidents.
That's why there are emergency repairs beginning today and a full reconstruction project beginning in the spring. Today, MDOT will hold an informational meeting in Roseville trying to help anyone interested understand the scope of the project. But in a nutshell, 696 is being redone from I-275 to 94. In Macomb County, the westbound lanes will be closed from I-75 to I-94 for the entire project, which is going to be April until November. In Oakland County, there will be overnight and weekend closures.
They can't work on holiday weekends. They can't work for certain special events, closed down.
Like the Dream Cruise.
Like the Dream Cruise. But Beyond that, it's heavily contingent on weather.
Now, this MDOT meeting is simply an informational meeting. It's going to talk about detours and traffic mitigation, things like that. Nothing earth-shattering, so to speak. I'm Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Alrighty, Nick, thank you. We want to get to some developing news right now involving Ford Motor Company. The Dearborn automaker has announced a major shakeup in its senior leadership team. Kumar Galhotra, now Ford North American president, replacing Raj Nair, who left the company because of alleged inappropriate behavior. Galhotra was in charge of Lincoln. Several other leadership changes have been announced, and you can see the full list of that on our website. Just go to clickondetroit.com. Investigators are working to determine the cause of a hotel fire that forced 100 guests to be evacuated. It all happened at the Extended Stay American Hotel, the one on North Civic Center west of Van Dyke and Warren. We're told the alarms went off early this morning when a small electrical fire broke out on the second floor. Thankfully, no injuries were reported there. And we do want to remind you that a boil water advisory is in effect for the city of Northville. The advisory will be in effect for the next 48 hours as crews work to repair a broken water main. Well, during that time, residents might experience a loss in water pressure. Businesses and residents in Northville Township will not be affected. And a wave of demonstrations around the country beginning to have an impact on the effort to change gun laws. President Trump seems willing to support a new restriction following an emotional White House meeting with the victims. Here's Tracy Potts in Washington with the story.
Today, the president meets with state and local leaders, including some from Florida, after an emotional meeting with people who survived the Florida school shooting and raw emotion pouring out across the country. It started in Florida.
I hope to achieve that every student feels safe in their classroom. I think we can make a difference.
And reverberated around the country.
We're fed up with having to feel unsafe in school.
Hundreds rallied outside the White House while President Trump held an emotional meeting with victims from school shootings, including Florida.
Should have been one school shooting, and we should have fixed it. And I'm pissed. Because my daughter I'm not going to see again.
Let's never let this happen again. Please, please.
The president inviting suggestions and promising to strengthen background checks and restrict gun sales to the mentally ill.
We're going to get them done. It's not going to be talk like it has been in the past.
He says he'll consider a plan backed by Democrats and Republicans to raise the age to buy rifles to 21, despite opposition from the NRA. Florida Republican Marco Rubio agrees.
I absolutely believe that in this country, if you are 18 years of age, you should not be able to buy a rifle.
Change prompted by students determined to make this tragedy the last. Now, you heard me mention the NRA. We've heard a lot about the National Rifle Association, not so much from the NRA since this shooting. That changes today. The head of the NRA speaks at the conservative CPAC conference just outside Washington today. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
All righty, thank you, Tracy. We also want to remind you to stay with us here on clickondetroit.com as we continue to follow the developments in this gun debate, and we'll, of course, bring you the latest here on Local 4. Well, it was a gold rush, a flurry of medals for the Americans in Pyeongchang, ending with perhaps the biggest of the Winter Games, women's hockey. We came out on top against Team Canada, winning 3-2. The home team was down 2-1 for most of the third period until Monique Lamoureux tied the game at 2. The game went into overtime before heading to a 5-person shootout where Jocelyn Lamoureux scored the winning goal, putting an end to the gold medal drought in women's hockey dating back to the 1998 games in Japan. So big congrats to Team USA. Next at noon, after days of delays, it has finally taken flight. Just moments ago, SpaceX launched, and we're going to have more of this video for you coming up in just a little bit. Plus, being at the right place at the right time, how police managed to save a 5-year-old boy from falling to his death. And a group of U.S. delegates slammed with eggs in Palestine. We'll tell you why coming up. Welcome back. The U.S. group Civil Society in New York were pelted with eggs as they left the Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research today. The U.S. delegation met Palestinian representatives in the West Bank city of Ramallah. The group was in Ramallah on an unofficial visit in order to gain greater understanding of the Palestinian point of view of the current situation. Several dozen Palestinians protested as the delegation came out of the Palestinian Center, holding banners reading, "The U.S. is part of the problem, not the solution. Hashtag hands off Jerusalem." 3 Egyptian policemen were able to catch a 5-year-old child as he fell from a 3rd-floor apartment balcony in the southern city of Asud, saving that boy's life. And there you see it. 3 policemen were on duty guarding a bank and standing on a sidewalk. And there you see that remarkable catch. They looked up and apparently saw the child dangling from the balcony before rushing to catch him as he fell. And how about this? SpaceX capitalized on the opportunity to launch Falcon 9 today on a mission that's been delayed 3 times. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk called off an attempted launch on Wednesday due to strong, high-altitude winds. The Falcon 9 rocket took off from California's Vandenberg Air Force Base. Falcon 9 rockets are poised to carry a nearly 3-ton Earth imaging satellite for a Madrid-based operator. So pretty cool. So to come here, Local 4 News at noon, all week long, we've been testing products that claim to make your life a little bit easier. And today's products are for those who like to cook, like our very own Brandon Rue. We are putting the air fryer and in-house grill to the test, the smokeless grill.
Good-looking turkey burgers there. Near miss today with the wet weather, but we are tracking a little bit of trouble, maybe ice, freezing rain on the way. Details next.
You're just gonna pump your right foot out. Lessons on ice that lead to success in life.
I've heard girls say they're starting to do better in math. I hear girls saying that they're starting to feel better or feel more confident speaking in front of people.
The new program already making a big impact on some young skaters. Tonight, starting at 5. Right now,
Welcome back. Happy Friday Eve. It's looking good out there today. This is a storm pin from a couple of days ago, and Harbor Master in Grosse Pointe Farms. The fog over Lake St. Clair and the boardwalk here. A beautiful shot, though. You get those lights and the thick fog over the lakes. We are looking at clearer conditions today. The wind's blowing a little too much, but your Local 4 storm pins, a free app, WDIV. What about the flood warnings still out there? Not a big widespread flood watch where we're worried about everybody in the neighborhoods. This is more closer to the watersheds or the rivers that run through a lot of the area, including the Cass River up in Genesee County, the North Branch of the Clinton River. This is the Huron River, the River Raisin. All of these still expected to crest or continue to rise, and most are already above flood stage, I think, with the exception of the Huron River, but more and more flooding possible as a lot of the smaller streams and rivers feeding into these rivers continue to flow. So the worst of it yesterday and today. By tomorrow, we should start to see some improvements with the water levels coming down. But I know it's a big time problem for some of you or many of you around the area that are just not seeing that water coming down. It will as we go through tomorrow. 36 degrees outside right now. Northeast wind at 12 brings a feels like condition in the 20s. We hit 40 later today. We get a little bit of sun trying to break through these clouds. Maybe a flurry or two also trying to fall. But overnight, mostly dry until 5 or 6 a.m. and then some moisture coming at us that likely at 30 degrees would be some freezing rain, maybe sleet. So we got to keep a close eye on that. In the meantime, not a whole lot happening here locally, but it was a close call today with some wet weather, most of it south of our border with Ohio. And now we keep an eye on some of this moisture that is coming out of the south and west, and it's even icy down there. So as it comes in here, but again, between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. Friday, we need to watch out for some freezing rain and then spotty lighter rain showers during the morning tomorrow with 47 and drier conditions Friday afternoon. Another weather maker comes in here Saturday, but it's Saturday night, early Sunday. I think while we're either asleep or just not really heavily impacted, a well-timed rain chance Saturday into Sunday.
All righty. Well, let's talk about these infomercials because they suck you in, they light up your cable channels, and the goal, well, they sometimes want to make your cooking easier, healthier, or cleaner even.
Do they work? Well, here's a couple of short order cooks giving them a look. So is the Philips indoor grill really smokeless? And does the Philips air fryer make frying foods healthier? You ready to get to work?
I am.
First up, the Philips TurboStar digital air fryer using circulating air to heat your food quickly as if it were being fried. We cut up several potatoes to try a quick and easy fry test, and in about 18 minutes, we had well done French fries. A second batch was put in for about 14 minutes, and we had perfectly cooked French fries. We did use a little oil and seasoning before cooking to get that golden brown crunch. Do they taste like fast food fries? No, but they are healthier in the air fryer, and you can taste that. Next up, a batch of chicken wings in barbecue sauce. I followed the Philips TurboStar directions, and sure enough, in 20 minutes we had perfectly cooked chicken wings. We were pleasantly surprised that the chicken was cooked through while wing crispy outside. Our final product test was a fail. Battered onion rings piled into the air fryer pan. More batches with fewer rings is the guide to golden brown, unlike my bloomin' mess. Overall, the pan and screen were very easy to clean. Now it's time for the Philips Indoor Smokeless Grill, using advanced infrared technology to keep the grill at a searing heat. The grill top may not be big enough to load up and feed a large family. We threw on a New York strip steak, a large salmon fillet, asparagus, and peppers first. It's exciting to grill inside the house, watching the grease pan collect the juice that would otherwise make things smoky. From the veggies to that thick New York strip, the grill gives those marvelous marks we all want. And with so much going on the grill, the smoke alarm went off. The intense infrared heat caused fat from the steak and oil from the fish to smoke. That's strike one. Next, we threw on burgers, brats, and shrimp and followed the cooking time guide. The indoor grill works great. Everything tasted fresh from the bobby and cooked quickly. The grill top and drip tray were also easy to clean. The only knock is the smokeless part of the deal.
Well, I guess we know what somebody here at Local 4 is getting for a white elephant gift during the holidays.
No way. I'm keeping it. I give them both a thumbs up, even though it's not completely smokeless. As Henry Colby said this morning, it smokes less than a normal grill would. And it's just kind of a fun thing to do inside, grilling. And I thought it all tasted great.
A silver medal?
I'd give it a silver medal on our Olympic scale.
All right. Well, it is a holiday for some, and by some we mean probably all of you. National Margarita Day is today, and we're going to tell you where you can find the deals in order to celebrate responsibly. Alt 106. It is National Margarita Day, and there are plenty of deals on the drinks if you want to celebrate.
Among the specials, On the Border is celebrating with $2 classic margaritas. At Chili's, you can get the Chambord Flirt Margarita for $5. Tony Roma's offering handshaken classic Romaritas for $4.
And Bahama Breeze has classic margaritas for $2.22, which is a 67% discount. Oh, and guess what? If you are a fan of staying here in the city of Detroit, you can go to Calexico. It's on Woodward. $4 margaritas all day. How about that?
Huh. $2.20, February 22nd.
There you go. Have a great day, everybody. Celebrate responsibly.
Take away to margarita.